Hi everyone, I'm Natalie from My Progression, and today's video is about prevent. Now this video should give you a really good feel for what prevent is, including key definitions, your part to play and signs to look out for. Now we do recommend that you read the full government statutory guidance detailed in the description, as this will give you further, more detailed information. So what is it? Prevent is a safeguarding arm of the National Counter Terrorism Strategy, and it aims to stop people being drawn into or supporting terrorism. The Prevent strategy has three specific strategic objectives: tackle the ideological causes of terrorism, intervene early to support people susceptible to radicalisation, and enable people who've already been engaged in terrorism to disengage and rehabilitate. Everyone who works in schools and educational settings has a duty to identify vulnerable children and young people and prevent them from being drawn into terrorism. This is known as the prevent duty, and also includes organisations such as the police, childcare providers, local authorities, NHS trusts and foundations, and prison services. As someone who works in education, it's very likely that you'll come into contact with vulnerable children or adults. It's therefore vital that you understand what radicalisation is, who's at risk, and what you need to do. Protecting children from the risk of radicalisation should be seen as part of your wider safeguarding duties, and is similar to protecting children from other harms such as drugs, gangs, neglect, and sexual exploitation. So what is radicalisation? People can have some very dangerous, preconceived ideas of what radicalisation or terrorism is. Radicalisation is the process by which a person comes to support terrorism and forms of extremist ideologies. Extremism was defined by the Home Office in 2011 as vocal or active opposition to fundamental British values, including democracy, the rule of law, individual liberty, and mutual respect and tolerance of different faiths and beliefs. So you might be wondering who is involved in radicalising a young person. There's actually no right answer for this, as it can be anyone that's been radicalised themselves and shares the extremist views known as a radicaliser. A radicaliser is an individual who encourages others to develop or adopt beliefs and views supportive of terrorism and forms of extremism leading to terrorism. The Prevent programme will offer mentorship and support to de-radicalise the young people affected. De-radicalisation is the action or process of causing a person with extreme views to adopt more moderate positions on political or social issues. What preconceived ideas do you think people have of a terrorist? The media will often show you images from 9/11 or the Manchester Arena bombings. They will depict a very standard image of what a terrorist is. However, terrorism can come in many forms, and one of the biggest terrorist threats in the West at the moment actually comes from far-right extremists and white nationalists. The media can have a large part to play in how terrorism is depicted, therefore it's important to always look at reliable sources and websites. So who's at risk? Anyone can be radicalised, but children and young people are particularly vulnerable. People may be radicalised in many different ways and over different timeframes, from as little as a few days or hours, or it may take several years. Radicalisation does not happen across a specific time period to a specific person, group or people, but there are those who are more at risk due to their vulnerability. Children who are at risk of radicalisation may have low self-esteem or be victims of bullying or discrimination. They may feel isolated and lonely or wanting to belong, unhappy about themselves and what others might think of them, embarrassed or judged about their culture, gender, religion or race, stressed or depressed, fed up of being bullied or treated badly by other people or by society, and angry at other people or the government. The NSPCC have explained that you can build young people's resilience to radicalisation and extremism by helping improve their self-esteem and self-confidence, promoting inclusivity and community cohesion, providing a safe environment for debating a range of issues such as British values, recognising and managing risk, making safer choices and the impact of pressure from others, helping young people understand how they can influence and participate in decision making. Just like any other safeguarding concern, you should be on high alert to changes in a child's behaviour. If you're on short-term supply, this could be difficult but not impossible to spot. So some common signs of radicalisation: isolating themselves from family and friends, refusing to listen to other points of view, talking as if from a scripted speech, changing friends and appearance, unwillingness or inability to discuss their views, a sudden disrespectful attitude towards others, increased levels of anger, and increased secretiveness, especially around internet use. Now, if you spot any of these signs or there's anything concerning you, speak to the school or settings safeguarding lead. Remember, there's no concern too small. So if you notice anything unusual, out of character, it's your responsibility to report it. Safeguarding is like a jigsaw puzzle that requires multiple people and different points of view to complete and create a full picture. Now, unfortunately, there has been some controversy surrounding the misuse of Prevent. Some people have experienced racial profiling that's led them to being unfairly treated. And whilst it's so important to raise genuine concerns, before you do anything, make sure you challenge your own bias and make sure it's legitimate. Nobody should be discriminated against based on the colour of their skin or their religious beliefs, and Prevent should not add to that. Now, as mentioned earlier, the media and social media is rife with biased and incorrect information. Children are exposed to news in different ways, and in some stories, they may worry or scare them. Now, it's important to make children feel listened to about their worries and concerns around negative things they hear in the media. You should offer reassurance to children and avoid complicated explanations that could frighten or confuse them further. Always speak to the parents or carers about their child's concerns and offer advice to help them access support. For example, you could point them to the NSPCC website and their helpful videos. As mentioned at the beginning of this video, this is an introduction. We strongly recommend you complete the full government training linked in the description below to learn more about Prevent, including who's at risk and your part to play. Prevent is a safeguarding duty, and safeguarding is everyone's responsibility. Therefore, it's vital you report anything that doesn't feel right. And if you found this video on Prevent helpful, take a look at our other videos on working education, including our CPD accredited safeguarding series. And whilst you're there, like, subscribe and click on the bell to keep hearing more from My Progression. If you would like to look at trusted resources to help safeguard children from radicalisation and support them in building resilience, check out Educate Against Hate, a website that contains different resources for both educators and pupils to help understand extremism and combating misinformation online. I've been Natalie from My Progression, and let's keep your career in motion.